Boo battle, let's go! Welcome to Reviews FC. Today we have the Predator 20.2 going against the Phantom Vision 2 Pro. And they have to go through 4 categories to decide which one belongs in your bag. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing so you never miss out on an next review. Or if you want to kick it with us some more, follow us on any of these guys and we can kick it there. Without further ado, my name's Hatter and let's kick off with the video. Alright, design. Now, these guys are basically made for the control freaks. These are marketed as the control boots and they're the textured boots. So these are the type of boots players that like to add a little razzle dazzle to their passes, to their crosses, to their shots, little curl into the corner. These are the boots marketed towards you. Now, each boot likes to have its own unique way of expressing that, and we're gonna take a look at Adidas Predator first. I think what comes into my head when I look into a Predator is especially with these spikes, is going to be like an alligator or some type of lizard, something that has like scale, you know, and that resonates with the name. You get the idea of this thing going to find an alien just to cause some trouble and start a fight, you know. These are the type of boots that could probably take on an alien and make a really cool movie. But I mean, when all throughout the design, it has like scales at the bottom or little dents, and then they have the scales on top. It really does resonate with the name, and it gives you that Predator feel to the boot. I think Predator does really nail what it's shooting for. This one, like right away you can tell it has the same type of indents up top. It has the kind of like a diamond shape, so it can grab traction from any direction. And at the back as well, it can grip to and plant itself. So yeah, when it comes to the cleats, they're both pretty much the same because they're marketed to the same type of people or to the same type of players, which is the fast reaction, get and or receive and pass type of players. It does a really good job of when it comes to its name, but I don't think it's as creative as Predators. Like Vision, yeah, you get a little arrow pointing to where you want it, and if you have to, you know, it kind of does go with the name, you know, Vision going one way, the other. It's just, I get it, but it's not creative. It's pretty straightforward. Get it? Because it's pointing? No? I tried. It all comes down more to the way they feel and work in the actual game. But I think the design is a little bit important into, I don't know, just being unique, making it different than everything else. The boot doesn't demonstrate that. The boot doesn't give it the name justice. So I think for this one, I'm gonna go with the Predators 20.2, just because they were creative. They're unique. They do justice to its name. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what they could have done to the Phantom Vision 2 Pro to make it look more unique, more artistic. I think they should go with something like a eagle or some type of bird. I think especially right here at the top, they could have just done a line like this and added like little lines to show that it's a feather. I don't know. I think that would have been a little bit more creative. And let us know also what you think of the Predators. What Predator they're going for. Is this a alligator? Is this a I don't know. What kind of Predator is it going for? Is it it's not a shark, is it? I don't think it's a shark. I think it's got to be a lizard of some sort. Maybe. You let us know. Now we're going to start with the Predator 20.2, and these guys are clocking in at $120. Now, the first feature they have is the rubber spike element called the Demon Skin. Feature number 2 is the seamless tongue, which is basically like heat glued on, or I don't know what it looks like. It's heat glued on, but it could just be glued on to the top of the boot, and then it goes like underneath the actual boot, so you can like really have it up top if you wanted to. Like that's the kind of tongue they're talking about. You could have it over, but which it would look weird. Yeah, they have like a little flap that goes underneath and makes it into a seamless tongue, or what they're calling it. Then they have a lace closure with laces on top, you know, tie it, just a regular lace type of boot. They went with synthetic uppers, so no leather yet. Feature number 5 is TPU outsole, which is thermal polyurethane, and it's supposed to be more weather resistant, better grip on the ground type of outsole. And yeah, so feature number 6 is the weight, and this guy is weighing in at 524 grams or 1.16 pounds, so not a bad weight. When we go into Vision 2 Pro, it's clocking in at $150, and first feature it has is the inner layer sleeve and collar. So basically it's this guy. It's basically like an extra sock attached to it on the inside that grabs like your ankle. And feature number 2 is the ghost lace, which is complete opposite to the Predator. It hides the laces underneath this fabric. And they also have a micro texture, basically just a little, they have like little dents and little bumps over through the whole overlay. And they also have a synthetic upper, not leather yet. For feature number 5, the hybrid studs is basically these guys right here. It gives you a little bit of the traction and it gives you a little bit of the speed or push. So yeah, and when these guys are weighing in at 463 grams or 1.02 pounds. This one I'm gonna have to go with the Vision 2 Pro for sure. They just add, I mean, they take weight off, they have cooler features. It's just, it's really hard to argue what they bring to the table for how much more. $30 I think is worth for what they give you, for sure. Like button blue! Yeah! Alright, for the reviews, we're gonna start with the Predators 20.2, and the main thing people are talking about them is basically they're too narrow. The second thing people are talking about is the length. They seem to run a little bit longer. And the third thing, which is weird because I also had the same problem, is that the insoles were not attached to the actual boot. They were kind of like in there, but they didn't like fully place them. It's almost like they kind of gave up. They were like, they're in there, whatever. Throw them in the package, it's good to go. And that's how I got them. They were not attached to the bottom. They were just kind of like flopping in there. And then I just kind of like placed them and just put them on. I don't really care. But it's those details, those small details that count. And I don't know, maybe it could have been somewhere else. It could have been like throughout shipping or something at the store. I don't know. It's one of those things, like even if it was at stores, they probably should have checked that they were in there. I don't know. Nitpicking, but still, some of the main things that people are talking about is basically here. They're saying that these guys are too tight right up here, right at the base. And yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to find out later, but the overall score they got from adding all of the stars from their own store, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Soccer.com, it averaged out to be a 4.0 out of 5 stars. When it comes to the Vision 2 Pros, the main thing people were talking about them is that they were too small or they were too narrow. So basically the main thing about them is that they're too narrow. They didn't talk too much about the length. I think that seemed to fit pretty well. It's more about like the width. And a couple of them were saying that it took a while to break into them, but after that, it felt really great. And I didn't see a lot of them of those for the Predators. Now, these guys, I think where it comes down to, it's gonna be over here where it's gonna end up feeling a little bit constricting. The Predators, I think, are more around the base, and these guys are going to be more around the toes. But yeah, I think when I averaged them all out together, the Nikes ended up getting a 3.8 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna give it to this one to Adidas because they did end up winning overall score. And they also ended up getting more reviews in general. So if you don't subscribe right now, I'm gonna tell Coach, and you're gonna be benched for like the next 2 minutes. So I'm seriously. All right, let's start off with the Predators 20.2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These guys felt awesome. They slide in really easy, and I didn't have to tie them from the back. I tried it both ways, and it honestly, it just felt maybe even a little bit better just tying them like normal boots. And I mean, I tried it this way, and they felt really good too. It's just, I didn't need to. These just felt just fine tying them like this. And they do have a little grip to it. Every time I was trying to juggle it, it kept trying to juggle back to me, or it kept trying to spin towards me. So that's a really cool feature, I think. I think when it comes down to it, I didn't really feel too much constriction at the base or anywhere really. So it could just be like a couple people that might have that issue, but it felt like something that these guys could be broken into for sure. Like if there is that issue, I feel like these guys are the type to be broken into, and it'll be just fine. All right, next up is Vision 2 Pro.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Vision 2 Pros, they actually felt really nice too. They felt super comfortable. They do have a little bit constriction up here, but it's not too much where it hurts. It depends, I guess, also how much you tie them up here. I didn't tie them at all. These guys are pretty much just like a sock you slip in and you're good to go. They feel really nice when you're trying to juggle or dribble a little bit. And the only issue I have, and I think it's like a minor flaw in their design, but it would be like super nice to have, is they have this little pull up here for the front, but they don't have it from the back. And so you kind of have to struggle to get these guys even in. And it's just kind of a bummer because they are really nice boots, but in this one, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with the Predators just because they're really soft, really easy to just slip on, and you're good to go. There's nothing much to them. These guys, I feel like you kind of have to struggle just to put them on. And then, I mean, they're really nice because you never have to tie them. But at the same time, these guys just are really easy. You don't have to tie them, but you do still have to take like 5 extra minutes per boot just to get them on. So it's like, might as well just I don't know, it makes no sense. The whole point of not having the laces to be an important thing in a boot is that you can just slip them on, and these guys take forever. All they needed to do was add just a little pull-up back here, and they would have been perfect. Make sure you check out the links in the description so you guys can get yourselves a pair of these boots, because these guys are beasts. All right, winner of the boot battle. 1 point in design for Adidas. 1 point in features for Nike. 1 point for reviews for Adidas. And the try-on test goes for Adidas. That means 3 goals for Adidas and 1 goal for Nike. That means the big winner of the battle is Adidas. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video to let the people know that the Vision 2 Pros were the big no-nos and the Predator 20.2s were the big yes todays. And I'll see you guys on the next video.